Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Junction Podcast, Christmas edition 2024. This is a bonus episode for the Game Junction Podcast. It'll be going up at a later time, a different time. Not doing it live. We're like, hey, let's get something out for the holidays. There's a lot to talk about with the holidays, video games wise. So, I mean, why not? Do a bonus episode. What we're going to do is we're going to do 10 video games each that have either a Christmas theme, are related to Christmas, take place during Christmas, anything to do with Christmas or the holidays in December. So we're going to pick 10 games and do that. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and let Mark start first.
I mean, I guess a good little ho, ho, ho. Yeah, no, it's stupid joke.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to do, but I guess we'll go into it first. My first one, a game that I played forever ago on the PC on Windows. It's one of those old browser games, but it's originally was Elf Bowling 3. I know you brought it up. It eventually got released on actual hardware, but I remember actually playing this game on the Windows. And the difference between the other ones is Elf Bowling 3 was more of like an actual bowling game. It has nothing to do with bowling. It has everything to do with Santa is launching elves using Mrs. Claus's brawl at like 3 different targets, as well as there's like obstacles, there's like reindeer, there's floating penguins and stuff like that you have to either intentionally hit or avoid, because they'll like adjust, they'll affect the trajectory of the elves. That's the thing that matters.
Yeah.
It's just a fun, stupid game essentially that I remember playing, and it fits the Christmas aesthetic.
All right, so I guess I'll go ahead with my first one then. My first one was a game that I got at a Scholastic Book Fair called Elf Bowling 1 and 2 for the Nintendo DS. Again, similar to kind of what you said, it literally was just a bowling game. It was like kind of a stupid game. It was almost like they were almost like flash games on the DS. Like they were almost flash games.
100%.
They looked better than a flash game because it was on the DS and it was an actual video game, but they were bad. They were like MSRP $20 at the Scholastic Book Fair, so they were not good, to say the least. I did not have a good experience, but it's stuck in my head forever. When I think of Christmas video games, I think of that and a couple of other games that come to mind just like right away. Like I don't even have to think at all, and like instantly a couple games come to my head. So
they're still fun games, but they're essentially flash games. You mess for the fun and move on.
Yeah, for sure. And you can look up, you can see footage of the DS version stuff. You got the touch screen to control, obviously, the bowling ball and stuff like that, which makes it a little more fun than I think probably playing on PC, because you actually get some interaction with the ball and you get more control, if you will.
Yeah.
So that they worked the stylus into it pretty well, but not a great game. So there's my first pick.
Well, another one, it's a better pick. This is more a holiday wintry themed level, but it's the Christmas level, or not the Christmas, it's the winter level from Super Mario 64. I think it kind of fits the aesthetic.
Okay, let me ask you.
The elves, the whole wintry Christmas.
Did you ever throw the penguin off the balcony?
Oh, 100%. I still do it to this day.
I do too. I replayed it last year and I did that again. I was like reliving the glory of throwing the baby penguin off of. I mean, how rude is that? PETA is going to come after us now.
PETA can bite it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. Anything else to say on that one?
I mean, yeah, for some of these, they're less Christmassy, more just the winter. That's more the feeling of the game. But I don't know how you could think of like a Christmas or a winter level and not think of like any Mario game winter level. But I just picked 64 specifically just because it's there's penguins there. There's technically snow-covered Christmas trees, or you're assuming it's snow. It's just some white stuff, so who knows what it could be.
Yeah. Okay, so for my second one, I have it physically and cannot find it. I was digging and digging and digging over there for it, and I actually got it for my daughter for Christmas last year, which is The Grinch Christmas Adventures, and it's also on the PS4 as well as the Switch. It is a very, very bad platformer game, 2D platformer. It is really bad, and it's made by OG Outright Games, who are, let's put it this way, I've reviewed 2 of their games before in the past. I played a couple of good ones, but they put out a lot of licensed garbage, kind of like LJN back in the day on the NES and Super Nintendo. put out
Yeah, or
really
like anything,
licensed
like
horrible games.
any licensed game by THQ.
Yeah, and I thought this was cool. It's like the Grinch got a game that's a new game, and like it's a 2D platformer, so it looked fun, but it's just not. Like it just doesn't. It's not the tight controls that Super Mario Brothers has. It's not the. It's just not the same deal. Unfortunately, it looks bad. Like visually, I'm talking the Switch version. Even docked, it looks horrible. Like visually does not look good. So I can't speak on the PS4 version. But I know the PS4 version has a PS5 upgrade. So maybe it looks better there. But we got the Switch version because she has a Switch. So that is my other pick there.
I mean, if you want to talk about another bad platformer and another bad adaptation, and I brought it up specifically because this was made by THQ, except we're going all the way back to the SNES. Home Alone 2.
Yes.
On the SNES.
Okay, took one of mine.
I guess it takes place during Christmas.
Yeah,
I mean, there's multiple Home
you're
Alone
good.
games.
You're good.
But it's just it's a weird.
Mine was going to be the Game Boy version.
Once as a kid.
I had it on the original Game Boy, so that was going to be my version.
I never had it, but I played it like once or twice as a kid on the SNES from either grandma's house or at a friend's house, or something like that, and it was not a good game. Not that I remember at all.
I liked the Game Boy game, but I think it's I think in general people don't like the SNES game. I think people in general do like the Game Boy game. I could be wrong. It's still not a great game, but I think it actually was a better. It's different, obviously, on the Game Boy. I think people enjoyed that one more from what I've seen, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's just an era where adaptations, and even a little bit still now, they're just not. They're like minimal effort.
Yeah.
Minimal effort. Like, how much money can we make out of it just because of the
Right.
name recognition?
Yeah. For sure. All right, so my next one is going to show the physical copy. That is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Pick this one for obvious reasons. You get the Christmas time celebration and these. So I'm really showing this for all Animal Crossing games. You get that winter time, Christmas time where like special stuff happens. You can get special different things. Animal Crossing does the seasons and the holidays right. Like for 4th of July, you can watch the fireworks go off at midnight. Or no, that's New Year's Eve. Sorry. For New Year's Eve, you can watch the fireworks go off. For Christmas, they have celebration, all the holidays, Easter, everything. So thinking back to even like Wild World, which is my personal favorite Animal Crossing game that I unfortunately do not have a physical copy of again yet. I am after that. If you got one, let me know. Yeah, I just show this one because I played New Horizons was my life early on in the pandemic. Very early on there, this is what I was playing. I was spending all my time with this. It was like the COVID game. It sold like gangbusters because of COVID. People were stuck at home, and this sold more than any other Animal Crossing that's ever came out. I could be wrong on this, but I believe it sold more than all of the other Animal Crossings combined. So it's high up there, and it's still selling. It still charts all the time. So
That's a really fun game.
Yeah, but you also had that to show, but it's not your pick, right? Or is that a pick for you?
Yeah, I guess technically is one, but I could just say the more like the outside of that one, the other Animal Crossing that I remember playing
Wild
that I
World.
have any memory of is the old GameCube one.
Oh, the GameCube one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I played it too.
Going way, way back.
I played. Actually, I have a physical of the Nintendo 64 Japanese version that came out before the GameCube version. They got, which was called Animal Forest. I don't know if you know that, but it was originally called Animal Forest. And then it changed here in America to Animal Crossing on the GameCube. So
that's the first one we got. So it definitely has memories, especially when we go over to your house and play it over there.
The DS Wild World is my favorite. I have the best and most memories with that. I had the GameCube one and we played it together. Obviously, it came with a memory card and everything. Like, it was really cool. That's one I would like to have physical of. Just because it comes with a memory card, I'd like to find that at some point. But Wild World meant a lot to me. That is a game that impacted me in a way that changed everything for me for gaming, for those type of games. I put so many hours into Wild World on the DS. I just think the DS in general was a game changer for me. I think it's the reason I'm still a gamer today. Is the DS. The DS recaptured the love I had because it has one of the best libraries of all time. The only other one that you can really say that that can stand up to it now is the Switch, because the Switch has everything too. But the DS at the time, it had every single genre that you wanted. And I'm talking FPS, RTS, Sims games, your sports games. It had everything. It had some of the best JRPGs that have ever come out. So the DS was awesome. Yeah, for sure.
And you can't go wrong with it.
All right. Where am I at? Was that 3 for me? 3 for you?
No, I think it's 4. It's 4 for me. So you should be on your 4th one now.
Okay. All right. So
I didn't go back and count.
No, you're good. My 4th one is Super Mario Odyssey, showing this one physically. So basically with this one was, and I have to look at what it was called because I cannot remember for the life of me what the level was called. But this has a Christmas themed, essentially a winter Christmas themed level. That was part of it, one of the worlds. So, yeah, you could actually get like the Santa hat and everything like that, the Santa outfit. So Cappy could be a Santa hat, which is really cool. But people have even done Christmas mods for Super Mario Odyssey called like Super Mario Odyssey Nexus, which is a whole 12 mods of Christmas. That's interesting. But yeah, I picked this one basically for that Frozen. I think it's Frozen Lands is what it's called. I can't remember that specific level, but you could see it right here on the back where he's got the snow outfit and stuff like that. So you got like that winter Christmassy themed level for Super Mario Odyssey, which one of the best Mario games ever. It's right up there with Super Mario 64 and Super Mario World and stuff like that. So that is my 5th one. Is it my 5th game or my 4th game?
That would have been your 4th one.
Okay. All right. What you got?
The next one, which is a game you can get for like $3 on Steam. It's a short but kind of a little funny game. It's a Viscera cleanup detail, Santa's Rampage.
You have not played that.
So it's, I don't know how very festive it is. It takes place in the North Pole essentially, but Santa essentially lost his crap and just went on a rampage. And if you've ever played one of these cleanup games, you have to go through and make everything clean. You gotta dispose of the elves that are laying everywhere, clean everything up. There's a bunch of there's a mess. It essentially was like a massacre or something like that Santa did in his own workshop. Not a whole lot.
You've
to say.
legitimately played this game?
Yeah, I played the original one where you have to go through and you just it's like a hazmat cleanup essentially is all it is. It's a weird, fun game you can play for like an hour.
Okay, so I got a pretty interesting one because we've talked about the successor series a bunch. Just even yesterday we talked about it. But the first Shenmue game, Shenmue takes place during December and has a lot of Christmas. There's like Christmas elements thrown into the game. It's not a Christmas themed game, but it's set during December during Christmas. So that's the cool thing about it. And obviously this came out on the Dreamcast. It's a beloved cult classic game. It's why we have Yakuza and Like a Dragon today. In case you didn't know, Shenmue is essentially Yakuza would essentially be the spiritual successor to Shenmue, and is the reason why we have those games today. So I love Shenmue 1 and 2. Unfortunately, Shenmue 3 was in development for like 15 years, and when it came out, it was a horrid game. I was so mad. It was one of the few times for a game where I was legitimately angry because those games are just, Shenmue 1 and 2 are just absolute cult classics. They're games I think everybody should play if you are a hardcore gamer. Everybody should play Shenmue 1 and 2. They are on PC now. Obviously, you don't have to have a Sega Dreamcast, so I think they're on Steam. And they're probably cheap, but I think everybody should play these games. And they're a Shenmue 1... 15 hours you can beat it, around 15 hours or so. It's not like a super long game, maybe 20. Shenmue 2 I think is a little bit longer if I remember correctly, but just absolute classic, so I had to mention that.
Oh yeah. And this is a game that I'll actually agree with the IGN rating of a 4 on this game, but it's the Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause for the GBA. Talk about another terrible port of a game from a movie. The gameplay is essentially nothing like it, and it's just brutally difficult, like all those tie-in GBA platformers that they just kind of threw together.
Yeah.
Because you remember the movie. I don't know if you ever
Oh
played the
yeah, I
game or
remember
not.
this really bad.
Oh yeah, it was just I don't even have a whole lot to say about it. It's so, for one, it was just so forgettable. Two, it was just bad.
It was
and
the worst
difficult.
of.
You're
I like 1 and 2 a lot, but 3 was horrible.
but yeah, but you're like, what are we doing? This is like low effort, but you had to artificially make the game longer, so you just jack up the difficulty. You're like, yo, kids are gonna be playing this game. Why is it so hard? But I had the same problem with some of the Ed and Eddie GBA games. Like the platforming was extremely
Yeah,
difficult.
what's the Jawbreaker, Operation Jawbreaker, or whatever it's
Yeah, it
called
was
for
some
the.
jawbreakers, yeah.
Yeah, I like the PS2 game and the GameCube game a lot. The 3D
They're
platforming
more
game.
like the actual show,
Yeah.
not just a platformer.
Yeah, it was more like the show. I really like that.
So that's what I had for
Okay.
number 6.
Cool. So the next one I had is Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Again, they are not Christmas games, but what they did was you could get holiday-themed DLC. So you could get a Santa outfits for Sonic and stuff like that for Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on the Dreamcast. And then obviously they're ported over to the GameCube and were remastered versions, essentially. But they're beloved games, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I think you for sure played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle with me at my house on the GameCube. There's no way that you didn't, because that was like one of my most played games on the GameCube. And I played that multiplayer mode with friends where you could be in the tanks with like Tails and Dr. Eggman and shoot each other and stuff like that. It was kind of essentially like trying to be custom Robo. But yeah, so I figured I'd mention that because there's actually like a lot of other Sonic games where you can receive like holiday outfits and stuff like that. I want to say Sonic Frontiers, which came out not long ago on the Switch, also has the ability to get a holiday themed outfit. So same sort of deal, but there is a bunch of Sonic games where you can get holiday themed stuff. And yeah, I'll be mentioning another Sega game next. So that's my mine there.
I mean, this next game, it's not a Sega game, but it was published on the Sega, but it was never actually released in the U.S. at all. I played this on a ROM, but Days Before Christmas. It's another one of those really old 2D platformers. It was originally on the Mega Drive.
I remember that.
and the
Yeah,
SNES,
I remember.
but never actually came out on the U.S. It was like an Australian game, and it came out in Europe and stuff like that.
So you played a ROM
I mean,
of
I don't
it?
have a whole, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's just you gotta save Christmas, get through this platforming level, avoid or get rid of all the evils and stuff like that. As well as, I think the one main thing that was memorable was the whole anti-clause and stuff like that. Uses the sack as a weapon and stuff like that. But I mean, you're talking about a game for ROM. I think I played this ROM back in like 2016, so it's been a while since I've touched this game.
Are we at 6? We're not. We haven't even hit 20 minutes yet. We're at 17 minutes, so, and we're getting through maybe a little too fast. Is this number 6 for me, or number 5?
That was number 7 for me.
So number 7 for me now. Okay, so for number 7, another Sega game, and one that I absolutely love, and I actually like it better than the original game and the Wii game that came out, which is Christmas Nights into Dreams. So this is a really interesting one. I'll read up a little bit on this. It was a promotional sampler disc of Nights into Dreams that was originally released during 1996 holiday season for the Sega Saturn. The game follows the story of Knights, Elliot, and Claire's trying to find the missing star from the Twin Seeds Christmas tree. So what this was essentially a mod of Nights into Dreams that was Christmas themed. So it was a shorter game. It was an easier game. But it was like Sega modded the original game and just made it Christmas. So yeah, it was a free sampler disc that you could get. So it was like a free game, which is really cool. And I don't know if you know about Nights into Dreams, but it's a beloved cult classic game that we have not received a game for since the Wii, but originally the game came out on the Sega Saturn. So we have technically 3 if you count Christmas Nights into Dreams. That's all we have for the series, and they are beloved. I mean, literally, there have been petitions for a new Nights game, and Sega just ignores the character and IP completely.
Yeah, they just don't care. Like, nah.
And it's playing, we don't such care. There's no other game like Nights. There's nothing else like it. It's such a unique game. Like, so it was so unique that they made a special controller for it on the Sega Saturn, the 3D pad, which had a single joystick. This was before the Dreamcast. This was on Sega Saturn. So they came out with the 3D pad that had a single analog stick made specifically for Nights in the Dreams. So like it was a very unique game. There was nothing like it back in the day. And then getting the Christmas one, which was free, was really, really cool, and that you could get during 1996. Obviously, I did not play this until probably like, I want to say like 2010. I was in high school, and I picked this up at a convention. And yeah, it took that long to find it, but it was just a sampler disc. It comes in a little sampler. You don't get like an actual case for it. You get a sleeve for it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But people have since made like on Etsy like actual cases for it that are like the Sega Saturn games and stuff like that. But this is one. If any of the ones that I mentioned, this is the top one for me.
Well, I have my top one at the very end. I was kind of getting there.
Yeah, I probably should have saved it, but I got a couple more physicals too.
Yeah, because this other one, it's based off an IP that I didn't care for, and it's so hard to find like Christmas themed games. To be fair,
Really?
There's not a whole lot of holiday
There's
themed games. Well, there's a ton of crap ones, no good games that really. Stand
Yeah, there's
out
a
for
lot
the
of
most
crappy
part.
games. Lots of crappy games for sure.
But this one, I didn't play it on the PS2, or no, I played on. I didn't own it because I didn't have a PS2, but I remember playing it on the PS2, and that was the Nightmare Before Christmas video game, another like movie tie-in game.
Yeah.
Did you ever play this game before?
I did. Yeah, I used to have it. It's not good.
Did you like? I don't remember. Like a lot of these games, I didn't care for the original.
It was
IP.
fine. It was like an average. Like it was like a 6 out of 10 game. It was fine.
Yeah, I think
It was another licensed IP game that was just kind of bare bones. Just felt like another game essentially.
Straight by the numbers.
Yeah,
that's essentially what I.
It wasn't bad,
with
but
game.
again, it wasn't great either. So, which is a little unfortunate. Yeah, so the next one for me, I just grabbed one, but this really counts for like the last like 6 games in the series because right now I'm playing the new one, and currently they have a Christmas event going on, so I'm playing it right now for the Christmas event. But this is the old one. I don't have the new one physical. I'm playing it on Game Pass, but I just picked Modern Warfare 3 Call of Duty. Right now I'm playing Black Ops 6, and they have the Christmas event going on. They did that in this one as well. They did it in several of the previous ones. Like you would have Christmas-themed zombie modes, but right now you have Christmas-themed, what's that? The most popular Call of Duty multiplayer map, and I can't remember the name. The small map that people love.
Rust?
No, not Rust. It's the Nuketown. Yeah, so it's Christmas Nuketown. But yeah, you can play right now, and it's Christmas themed. You unlock a bunch of Christmas stuff, and then same with zombies, which I was actually going to talk to you. I think what we should do is we should stream the new zombies, since we both can play it for free on Game Pass, and it's been a long time for you. And I love zombies. I know until Black Ops 6, I had not played the regular multiplayer in probably like 6 years, and I picked up every single Call of Duty because I'm going for the full set, and I hadn't played it. But I played zombies, and the zombies in this is good, like it was in Cold War and World at War and Black Ops 2. So that'd be a fun one to stream, I think, in a multiplayer game that could be community-based that other people can join in if they want to. So,
completely.
I think we should. It's on Game Pass, and it's free, so,
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
This next one's less of a game, but more of like an event. So for Elder Scrolls Online, every year they have, I think this year it's running from like the 19th to like January 6th. It's what they call like their New Life Festival. So it's kind of like an in-game event. You're mushing together kind of Christmas and New Year into like one event essentially. And it just has, you have extra drops or specific things, outfits and stuff you can, win. Neat little, you can like throw snowballs and stuff like that. So it's nothing like major. It's just the more like holiday event. This is like a thing I've done every year since probably 2018 when I was like playing this game consistently. So it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. Like I don't want to act like I'm. Well, I'm not gonna act like it. Finding stuff that fits the Christmas aesthetic for games that I've actually played was more harder than you would actually think.
Yeah.
But I think this definitely fits the theme as well. If you played the game, you kind of get it. Elder Scrolls Online does like probably a lot of other live service or MMO games do the same thing. They have different like, holiday events that they just do something special for like 2-3 weeks. So
Yeah. So am I at 9 now?
yeah.
Okay. So for my ninth, I picked Spider-Man Miles Morales because this is entirely set during Christmas. So there's a lot of Christmas stuff going on in the background. It's set during December. Obviously it's not directly a Christmas-based game, but it is set during Christmas the entire time. And it's fun. It's a really good game, too. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet. I still have to play that. I was actually, surprisingly, Mark, I was kind of waiting to play the PC version of that because I knew that with the ray tracing and with the frame rate that it should be a significantly better. However, the PS5 Pro does have a patch for Spider-Man 2 now that apparently is very good. So I may play it there. I haven't decided yet, PC or there, but I would like to have it physically because it's Spider-Man. I do love these games.
They are good.
They're very good. Spider-Man 1 and this, I can't speak on Spider-Man 2, but I've heard good things. So there's my ninth. It's my last physical.
Then before we actually got to my number 10, I guess I had technically two little games I want to shout out. They're not Christmas, but they technically take place during Christmas. The first one is Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. Takes place during, I think, Christmas Eve. Or at least that's when the game starts taking place.
You've actually played a Metal Gear game?
I've not played that Metal Gear game, but that game does technically take place during Christmas.
Yeah.
Then a game that I have played, not beaten, but Bayonetta 2 technically takes place during the holiday season, during Christmas as well. So just two little shout outs as well.
Okay.
But my actual number, my number 10, isn't technically really a Christmas game, but it takes place during the winter.
Okay.
It's a game that I played on Steam called The Long Dark. It's not a straight up survival game, but it's very much like a survival experience or survival like story where you're kind of in an area, you're surviving out in the cold winter, and you're kind of as well as trying to like figure out what kind of went on at the well, because it's kind of like you're there by yourself. The other game I think it's Firewatch. That's not the game I'm thinking of. That it reminds me of how it kind of.
I remember that game, but I haven't played it.
So there's like at least 4 different episodes for as far as the story goes, and it kind of breaks it down as you try to like figure out and survive and stuff like that. All the games on the list that I've gone over, this is like 100% my most favorite, and I would 100% recommend it. Like on Steam right now, it's in a 91% lifetime review. It's just a really good game if you haven't got around to playing it.
All right, so we're at only 27 minutes actually, so we might be able to do some extra mentions. But for my final pick game, I wanted it to be an actual Christmas game. Do you remember the cartoon? We watch them every year. I still watch them with my daughter and kind of have shared the tradition of watching these specific ones. But do you remember Santa Claus is Coming to Town? The cartoon movie?
It sounds so familiar.
It's part of, I forget what the name of those movies are, but they had like Santa Claus is Coming to Town. They had Rudolph.
Oh, this is a really old movie.
Yeah, they're old. They had Rudolph. The same company did a bunch of these. They have Rudolph's New Year. Also have that one. But anyway, Santa Claus is Coming to Town got a Nintendo DS game, and it is horrid. So I got this game
40 years after it came out.
Funny enough, I didn't play this game until like 3 years ago. I picked it up in a lot of games, so it came with it, and I had to try it out. I loved the movie. I played it, and it's like 3 different games in one. It's so hard to explain. You got to watch gameplay, but they're not good. None of it is good. There's nothing about this game that's good. It's weird because I'm like looking on Amazon and it's rated like, let me see, it's rated a 4.7 out of 5. You can get it for $15 on Amazon for the DS. What I also wanted to mention, because I had this one as well, and I got this one back in the day, not in a lot, but the Rudolph games. So the same company called Red Wagon Games made a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer video game, and basically it's you play these games are basically mini games. You're playing mini games. So if you remember during Rudolph, they had the reindeer games. from the song and stuff. Like, but the movie, they had the reindeer games. So you play these mini games, and that's basically what these games are. It's just a bunch of mini games that are really bad. They're not good. I'm sorry, the output from Red Wagon Games is really horrid. They do not have a good track record of putting out games. I'd be interested to see if they did put out anything good at all. But I wanted to mention both of those. Those are both on the DS. Obviously, I've got a soft spot for the DS, so I played one of them just a few years ago, and the other one I got Rudolph when it was new for Christmas. So,
I mean, it's not bad.
It's
not a bad list. Everything considered.
Yeah. So I guess we'll mention a few, like honorable mentions for different games. So one of them I had that I was going to mention was, where is it? I had it pulled up on my list that I had written out. Now I can't find it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Dead Rising 4. I don't know if you played Dead Rising 4, but it has a Christmas setting to it. Yeah, basically, I mean, the whole mall is holiday decorated. It's Christmas time. The zombies can be like Christmas themed. Your character can be Christmas themed. Like, it's all about Christmas and Dead Rising 4 in that setting. But you get like these different like Christmas missions that you can do if you're in that setting. So it was really cool. Like there were special Christmas missions. It was really neat. I feel like not as many people have played Dead Rising 4 as they did the other games, but I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good game. I think Dead Rising, because they're not horror games necessarily.
No, but then that's this amazing game that you've ever played before.
Yeah, it's fun. So that's an honorable mention. What do you got?
I mean, I kind of somewhat already did those before I did to my number 10. I didn't have anything immediately.
Well, I guess I can pick up another one, which is Minecraft. Minecraft obviously has festive events. That's kind of just a given.
Yeah.
I am not a Minecraftian. I do not play Minecraft. I've never been a fan. I did want to try the VR, but now it's going away, so I don't know if I'll have time to try it. But that's one. And then I guess another one to throw out is probably the biggest one to think of is Fortnite. Obviously having the Christmas events, something we don't play or whatever like that, but it's obviously one of the big ones where they celebrate all the holidays, they bring in all the IPs, they've got all the money to bring in everything to that game. And now it's got whatever like 5 different modes that are 5 completely different games. They're not even Fortnite. You got an arena shooter, you've got Guitar Hero, you've got Lego, then you got the regular Fortnite, and you got Battle Royale. Like, you got all these different... Now more than ever, like, there's got to be something for everybody in Fortnite. I haven't gone back and played it. I haven't played it in years. But I feel like if I went back, there's got to be something that's for everybody at this point. I think they're trying to make it this thing. Because now they're doing a mode that's going to be like Grand Theft Auto. Do you know about that?
It sounds like trying to make a one game to rule them all.
It does feel like that, and they're like essentially like 6, 7, however many they ended up doing, separated games. They even came out with a Guitar Hero controller for the PS5 and Xbox specifically for this Fortnite mode, and that was it. There is no Guitar Hero on PS5 or Series X. It was for Fortnite.
You're not going to bring me back to Fortnite. I'm sorry.
People were playing it, man. Those things sold out. They were selling for more than the MSRP. I actually bought a PS5 one and then ended up selling it. I'm sorry. I did sell it for a little more than I paid because I was like, I wanted it. Like, I bought it for me. But then I was like, do I really need this for just the one mode thing? And I hadn't booted up Fortnite in years. So I ended up selling it. But I'll say this. I plan on getting another one for PS5. I'm going to pick another one up, but I'll get it for MSRP or for lower because I actually do want to try it. I love Guitar Hero, man. Guitar Hero was the crap back in the day. It was so fun.
If you want a Christmas or a Santa themed Guitar Hero ripoff, you've got Santa Rockstar.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's on Steam right now.
Oh my God.
$5 game with like 15 songs.
That's funny. Well, another one I figured to mention, which is a game we don't like, but I did play the Christmas mode with this because it just so happened when I was playing it, the Christmas festive stuff was going on, Overwatch 1, which is no longer around, had a Christmas festive event, basically, just kind of like Call of Duty and Fortnite and stuff like that, and it was neat, but I didn't like Overwatch personally, so that's one to mention for sure. Do you got any other mentions? Looks like we're only at 34 minutes, so might be able to mention a couple other things, and then we're good.
Nah, not immediately available, no.
Okay, well, I've got a few. Kingdom Hearts 2, Christmas-themed world in that game that you can go to, which is the Nightmare Before Christmas. So you can explore that. That's obviously like Christmas and Halloween mashed together, but you visit that world in Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember that, playing that like it was yesterday. I loved the Kingdom Hearts games. That was a good world. It was fun. It was better than that PS2 game that came out, Nightmare Before Christmas, way better. So that's one as well. Then I figured I'd mention, which I didn't play, you have played, but Destiny 2 had the Dawning events, apparently. So it was a Christmas event called the Dawning with holiday-themed decorations, festive snowball fights, and special seasonal activities that were exclusive rewards. You might be able to speak a little more on that, because I haven't played.
I didn't play that one, but it's like a lot of live service games. They just do like holiday-themed events where you can get special outfits and different things like rewards and stuff you can do. It's nothing new to Destiny. It's just a lot of live service or MMO games do stuff like that. Okay,
I wanted to mention, unless you find one, of course, I wanted to mention South Park on the Nintendo 64. So this is not Christmas themed, but this is set in winter, obviously, because it's South Park, and you're throwing snowballs the whole game. That's what it's first person, and you throw snowballs. That's your gun, essentially, for the game. You're throwing snowballs the entire time.
Well, then wouldn't you want to classify the new game that just came out, the Snow Days game that just came out like a few months ago?
I mean, hold on, I've got that.
Because that would fit that like perfectly. Because that game came out. Oh, man, I'm trying to think of when exactly it came out. I thought it came out this past year, but it's just Snow Day and then a bunch of other stuff, and people are like freezing to death. So. Okay,
so for our video watchers, Snow Day, I haven't even opened it up yet, but South Park Snow Days. So it took that concept for that 64 game and made it its own like full game, essentially. This game critically got panned, but I got it for $10, so I said I want to try it out. And apparently it's like a 3-hour game. You can finish it in like 3 hours. But I paid $10 for it. It's from South Park Digital Studios, THQ Nordic, and Question who is from. It does not look good, but for $10, here's the reason I got it, for us to stream it, because it's a multiplayer game, and I thought, I paid $10 for it. It's got to be, you got to be able to get it dirt cheap. I literally got this for us to stream. That's the only reason I bought it. I was like, $10, dude, yeah, we'll stream it. Like, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, They only had one copy there, or I would have bought you a copy. But at some point, I would like to stream this before eventually it gets taken down and no longer supported.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I felt like it did decent when it came out, but I don't know the exact.
I've just heard that it's very, very, very short, and it's not worth the MSRP. But again, I got it at Walmart for $10, so.
I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
No, I think we've got everything.
All right. So there was our Christmas episode for 2024. We appreciate everybody watching and listening. Of course, we do want to shout out that we've got the Anime Junction cast, which we are having an episode out every single Sunday for. We don't have a specific time, but if you go to the Junction Network channel, so youtube.com/@thejunction_network, it is our second channel where we have essentially everything else. We're going to be bringing back Culture Junkies, which is a podcast about pop culture specifically. So we got to talk about when we're bringing that back, but that's going to be like a twice a month podcast versus a weekly podcast. That's going to be fun. So I'm really excited to bring that back. I think we're going to start it with talking about Ed, Ed, and Eddie. something that we both love. It's literally a podcast that we can do anything pop culture with that we want to. So it's like it's an open forum type podcast. So I definitely want to shout out that is coming back. We got 3 episodes currently out for it. But like I said, we'll be bringing it back with episode 4. Anime Junction Cast, we are at, as of this recording, what episode is coming out tomorrow?
That will be episode 14 for the
episode
Anime
14.
Junction Cast.
Yeah, so and then we're doing a Christmas-themed episode for Anime Junction Cast as well. So definitely follow us there. We posting a lot of stuff. We're posting clips from the podcast and shorter chunks for you to watch. And we've got a few shorts there as well. I plan on getting a few more shorts up on the Junction Network as well that are anime manga related for a couple of things that I have ideas for. And then Mark is doing a bunch of stuff with clips there. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of content already there, and he's doing normal videos as well, which is actually our most successful stuff. And Mark does a really good job. He did a beginner guide for anime, essentially the what you should watch first, which is really, really cool. I really like that. What were a couple of the anime that you picked for that?
I think there's some of the obvious ones, like Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop. I think Outlaw Star. Obviously, some of these were like the ones that most people got into back in the day, like Konami.
Yeah.
But I found some more obscure ones that weren't like obscure as they just weren't well seen. But obviously, if you want the whole list, go watch it. Go watch and check out the video. Yeah,
my hope is that you continue this as a series and do like an intermediate sort of anime, like, okay, now you're into anime, what should I watch next type deal, and then get to kind of like an expert level where you're really getting deep into the niche, different subcultures of anime, different stuff. And then obviously you said you're going to do Tenchi Muyo some justice somehow, so I know you're going to be doing stuff on that, which I'm really excited about. I love that.
Yeah.
But for us, I do have another video that just dropped. It was a pickups video, so if you're watching this when this comes out, it will have been a few days ago. That is on the Game Junction page, and then I'm going to be filming a new video of pickups that was actually an exchange from Mark. He sent a lot of stuff I was not expecting, and I want to give it justice and show everything off because it's really, really cool pickups. And he essentially told me, you are absolutely going to start collecting anime and manga again. He basically said that by sending this. He's like, there's no way you're not, because here's a starter collection, which I really appreciated and was really cool. So really nice of him. But yeah, we appreciate everybody watching. Give us a follow on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, all that jazz. If you go to our link tree, it has all the links for all that stuff there. And we will see you all later. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Peace, everybody. Have a good Christmas.
Happy holidays.